Okay, folks, prepping for September. So, prepping for going back to school, okay, this September 2025 and even future Septembers, okay, for Key Stage 3 maths, Key Stage 4 maths, Key Stage 2 maths, functional skills maths students here, okay, college students here, and anyone here that is going here to study GCSE maths foundation tier, okay, or even higher tier. Okay, questions. Okay, looking at your questions in the number section. So question 1a, write down the square of 8. So the square of 8 means 8 squared. So 8 to the power of 2. 8 squared means 8 times 8. That will be 64. Okay, so 8 to the power of 2 or 8 squared is 64. Okay, what about this next one? Part B, write down the value of 10 cubed. So 10 to the power of 3. That means 10 times 10 times 10. So I'm multiplying 10 by itself twice. Okay, so 10 by 10 is 100, and then 100 by 10 is 1000. Okay, think of it here as, right, as a 1, and then counting the number of zeros here, so it's going to be 1, 2, and 3 zeros. So it's 1000. What about part C? Okay, a bit more trickier. Okay, estimate the value of the square root of 20. Well, we know that the square root of 16 here, or we should know, okay, is equal to 4, because 4 times 4 is 16. So the square root is the opposite process to squaring. Okay, so 4 squared is 16. Okay, 16 is what I call a square number. And we should also know that the square root of 25 is 5, because 5 times 5, or 5 squared, or 5 by 5 makes 25. Okay, now the square root of 20, okay, is between 4 and 5, okay, is closer to 16 than it is to 25. So I am estimating the answer to be around, let's say, 4 point maybe 4.7, okay, or 4.6. Okay, so I would say between 4.4 and 4.5, okay, as our answer. Okay, okay, so yeah, so I would say anywhere between 4.4 to 4.5, I would say, okay, in that region, okay, for 1C. Okay, question number 2. Here is a list of 8 numbers: 4, 5, 14, 25, 29, 30, 33, 39, 40. From the list, write down part I, a factor of 20. So the word factor, or factors of a number, is a set of numbers or a number that goes into that number cleanly with no remainder. So a number here that 20 divides into cleanly with no remainder. Well, 4 is going to be 1. Okay, 5 is also 1, because 20 divided by 4 is going to be 5. Okay, so again, yes, a whole number here with no remainder. And also 20 divided by 5 is 4. Okay, so either 4 or 5 is correct. Okay, so yeah, so 4 goes into 20 5 times, and 5 goes into 20 4 times. Okay, so yeah, it is a number or a set of numbers, okay, that go into that number cleanly with no remainder. Now, the best way that I get taught, yeah, for facts here, is to write down, okay, what numbers multiply to make 20. So yeah, we'll obviously have 1 and 20, okay, 2 and 10, and 4 and 5. So these 6 numbers are all factors of 20, because they all go into 20 fully or cleanly without a remainder. Okay, so that's key here, without a remainder. So 1 goes into 20 20 times, 20 goes into 20 once, 2 goes into 20 10 times, and vice versa. 10 goes into 20 twice. Okay, so the factors of 20, if you're wondering, are 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, and 20. Okay, so they are all the numbers, okay, that go into that number cleanly without a remainder, okay? So yes, if you're ever unsure, yeah, write out what I call here the factor pairs. So write out numbers that multiplied to make that number, and then yeah, obviously have like a little list below, okay, and they will be all your numbers, your list numbers here that obviously multiply to make 20, okay, in this case. Part I, a multiple of 10. So multiple just means the times table or the times tables of that number. So that'll be 10, 20, 30 or 40. Okay, so I'm going to obviously write down 30, but again 30 or 40. Okay, you can have, okay, so choose one. Okay, not both here, saying a. So or a. So a mean yeah singular, or a meaning singular. Okay, so 4 or 5 for part I, okay, and that. What about part I, okay, or part triple I? The prime number that is greater than 15. Well, a prime number is a number that has explicitly two factors, one and itself, okay? So from this list, okay, bigger than 15, well, that's going to be 29, okay? Because 29 has two factors, 1 and 29, okay? So yeah, hence why it's prime, okay? So a prime number is a number that has explicitly two factors, one and itself, okay? One is not a prime, yeah, that's quite a common misconception and mistake that my students make in the past. Okay, yeah, one is not prime because one has only one factor, namely one. A prime number must have two distinct, okay, factors, okay, and that's what makes it prime. Okay, so sorry, distinct. Okay, so it must have here exactly two factors. So we'll have here, so 2 is prime, 3 is prime, 5 is prime, 7 is prime, 11 is prime, 13 is prime, okay, so on and so forth. Okay, 17, 19, 23, 29, 31, 37, 41, so on and so forth. Okay, so it must have two distinct factors, okay, one and itself, okay, and one is not apparently, just obviously make that point very clear, okay, so one is not prime because one has only one factor, namely 1. Question 3, okay, express 180 as a product of its prime factors. Okay, so a really common exam question that appears every single year in Edexcel, aka in OCR. Okay, yeah, so writing 180, okay, in a factor tree. So two numbers that multiply to make 180. Well, that's going to be 18 and 10. Okay, again, obviously go for any two numbers, yeah. Other than 1 and 180. So 18 decomposes into 3 and 6. Oops, don't know why I circled 6 there, sorry. I meant to circle 3, because 3 is prime. 6 decomposes into 2 and 3. Okay, so sorry, but lack of spacing here, I apologise. So 6 decomposes into 2 and 3. And then 10 decomposes into 2 and 5. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to write 180 is equal to, and then multiply all the numbers here that I've actually circled, okay? So the word product in maths here means to multiply. So essentially it's saying, okay, write down, the prime numbers that multiplied to make 180. Well, that's going to be 2 times 3 times 3 sorry, 2 times 2, I missed out a 2 there. So 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 5. Okay, there we go. Yeah, let's just double check that. So it's going to be 4 times 9, that'll be 36. 36 times 5, it makes 180. So that is indeed correct. So 180 here can be written as 2 squared times 3 squared times 5. Okay, if it's an index form. Okay, so so product of primes just means, yeah, prime numbers that multiply to make that n number. Okay, yeah, so we obviously decompose it using the prime factor decomposition, yeah, the tree method. Okay, so numbers that multiply to make 180, that was 18 and 10. We then decompose, yeah, 18 and 10 until we got, yeah, lists of prime numbers. And then, yeah, our answer was all the circle numbers being multiplied together, okay? So, yeah, so it was 2 by 2. Okay, so, yeah, it should be a family, just to make it clear. So 2 by 2 by 3 by 3 by 5. Okay, or I can write it as 2 squared times 3 squared times 5. Okay, and that, guys, is writing 180 as a product of its prime factors. Okay, thank you very much.